49 days. 49 days is all that remains until the start of the holiday art buying season. That means summer's over, the party is over, and it is time to start getting our house in order. Now, for those of you guys that don't listen to the podcast, this is the first time you've heard about art storefronts. Right now is the time of year where we start banging the drum like crazy to get ready for Q4. It is the last 3 months of the year. It is when more art is going to be sold than at any other time all year long. Earlier in the year, like a couple weeks ago, I put out this Ready, Set, Q4, your 70-day artist sales boot camp. And in that episode, I sort of talked about big picture, how to think about it, how to get ready, where you need to be focusing your energy. So if you have not listened to this, go and listen to this. It's Ready, Set, Q4, your 70-day art sales boot camp. And it's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. You can find it absolutely everywhere and anywhere. Okay. And in that episode, I talked about all of the things that we need to do to get our digital houses, our online, offline houses in order for the art buying holiday. And the good news is this comes up every single solitary year. Our job as a business, my job at Art Storefronts, is to get you guys fired up, get you motivated, get you inspired, get you encouraged to do more marketing ahead of this season than you do at any other time all year long. And really, when you think about how important it is to an art business, to a photography business, you realize you have to get ahead of it and you have to start talking about, yes, the holidays seem far away. Yes, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Halloween, the run up to Christmas, that all seems far away, but it's not. And the reason it's not is because no one buys art or photography the first time that they look at it. No one is going to buy your creations usually the first time they see it. They're going to need to see it and be reminded about it and know that you exist. And so this is the time of year where we're like, okay, creatives, this is the time when we need to start taking our marketing seriously. Okay. This is the time. And you guys have worked all year for this moment, doing everything that you're doing to fill your creative engine on how to create the things that you create. All year long, you've been working on that. All year long, you've been in the studio, you've been out on the field, you've been creating. You owe it to yourself. Okay. You guys owe it to yourself to put in an extraordinary, an outsized amount of effort ahead of this Q4 buying season, such that your business is in a situation where you can succeed, okay? Where you can get the sales that you deserve, right? So that's what we're aiming for. And I wanted to talk specifically today about getting your email list in order. And yes, I know what you're thinking. I barely have an email list. I haven't emailed my email list. What is an email list? I hate emails. Does email even work? And let me just put all of that to bed. Okay. We've got 10,000 plus artists on our platform. I get to see all of their stats. And the reality is that the majority of revenue oftentimes is driven by the email list. It just is. It's the one thing that we as business owners own, right? Instagram can control who we reach, when we reach. So can Facebook, so can YouTube, so can Pinterest, so can wherever you're marketing. But the email list is what you guys actually own, right? It's very, very important for the revenue potential of any creative business. And right now, with 49 days to go until we hit Q4, is the time to focus all time, energy, and effort in getting that thing ready. Now, for those of you guys that are going to just tune in for a second and then pop out, I am going to continue dropping episodes on the podcast. Again, it's called the Art Marketing Podcast. I'm showing it here on Spotify, but this thing is absolutely everywhere. It's on Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast you listen to. I'm going to keep just dropping a series of episodes on how to get ready for Q4. The next big episode is going to focus, what I'm talking about today, on getting your email list in order. Okay. Critically important. We start doing this now, and we don't start doing this 2 weeks before the holiday buying season starts. Right. And essentially, like the minute October 1st dings, it's on. It is on. That is when we're firing on all cylinders, and we're sending emails. We're posting more on social than we've ever done before. Ideally, we're throwing in live art shows and doing all of the things that we do. So what I want to talk about today is getting your email list in order. Okay. Every single solitary one of you as creators has an email list, whether or not you know it. Okay. You all have email lists. It starts before it even starts. let me ask you this, and this is an open question I ask on my webinars all the time. How many of your friends, of your family, of your acquaintance know you guys are actively working creators trying to sell your creations? It's a good question, right? Makes you think about it for a second. How many people that you come in contact with, how many people that you interact with, how many people that know you, sort of know you, really know you well, know that you have creations you've been working on all year and that you are trying to sell them? And for most of the people I interview and ask that question, most people are like, yeah, some of them, probably not all of them, probably not even that many. And that's how it is for most folks out there, right? That's absolutely how it is for most folks out there. Justin Sullivan says all of them. Well, Justin, you are the exception to the rule. All of Justin's acquaintances know he is a creator trying to sell his creations. But this is the time of year, I think, primarily where we want to start getting our email list in shape. And what does that look like? In step one, I love to do housekeeping, and no different than like when it's Christmas and we have to decorate the Christmas tree. You have to like go up and get those giant plastic bins from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever that has all your Christmas crap in it. And you bring those things down. In my case, my wife yells at me to bring those things down, and I ignore her for a couple of days. And finally I go and do it because I don't want to do it. We got to do that with our email list. We got to start getting this thing into shape. And for those of you that don't have an email list, you absolutely have an email list that is your friends and your family and your acquaintances. And that's how it starts. And yes, feels a little weird emailing those folks, but you know what? You got to start somewhere. So that's for the people that just don't have anything else going. For everyone else, this is the time when we got to clear everything out. You got to go through all of your text messages. You got to go through all of your order receipts. You got to go through PayPal. You got to go through Venmo. All of you have email addresses that you came into contact with throughout the year that you got from receipts or an art show you did or an exhibition, or maybe they're on a clipboard, or maybe it's in your Instagram DMs or your Facebook Messenger. We've got to get all of those emails. We've got to gather all of those emails up, and we need to get them into our ESP, our email service provider. Maybe you use MailChimp, maybe you use Kit, whatever you end up using, doesn't matter. That is step one. And I find that like most people know that they need to do that, but don't ever do that. I'm saying now is the time when you need to do that. Every single solitary email address, if you feel like that is a person that knows who you are, values you, you interacted with, you did business with, they complimented you on their art, now is the time to get that email list and get that thing into your ESP, okay? Because as we get closer to this holiday, we are going to be sending more emails than we've ever sold before. As we get closer to the entire Q4 season, we are going to be sending more emails than we've ever sent before. And the most important thing that you can do between now and then is don't just come right out of the blue and say, hey, it's the holidays, I have art for sale. They need to be warmed up. And that all starts with getting anything and everything you have in the email department into your ESP. Very, very important, critical step of housekeeping to do right now before we even get closer to this buying season. And what I'm going to cover on this podcast is some in-depth steps that you can do, some things that you are definitely not thinking about. And don't worry if what size the email list that you have is. We all start somewhere. We all have a certain list. There are situations where a list of 100 will do better than someone that has a list of 100,000. The numbers are almost immaterial and they don't matter. Our job is just every single solitary email that you've got. We've got to get those things all gathered up, all put together, all into one ESP so that you can email them. So even just doing that now, even if I just plant that seed in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to start thinking about this. I wasn't thinking about this. I wouldn't have thought about this till like October 31st. It's too late by that point in time. It's never too late, but it's definitely too late by that point in time. So be thinking about that, gathering up every single solitary email you have in any venue, in every single solitary scenario, okay? Because what's going to follow in terms of what we're going to be doing strategically is, believe it or not, we're going to email that list, and we're going to let that list know you exist, okay? And we are going to start sending some emails that are what we like to call openers. They are warm. They are not salesy in nature. They let people know you exist. They let people know what you've been working on, your newest creations, what you've been engaging in. And if you start sending some of those emails now, you're going to get people to start taking a notice in you. They might follow you on Instagram as a result. They might, your message, your creations might be planted in the back of your head, and they start thinking about it. Because what's going to happen is the minute October drops, and sometimes even a little bit before, every single solitary merchant in this country is going to start competing for brand space. They are going to start running ads. We're going to see it on TV. We're going to see it on our streaming platforms. We're going to see it on our social media sites. We're going to see it on billboards. We're going to see it, hear it on the radio. Anywhere that we interact with brand messages, all of the major brands that have played this game every single solitary year, which is get ready for the buying season, are going to start competing for the attention that you need. So we need to be ready. We need to be out in front. We need to let people know that we exist as creators, that we have creations to sell. And that all starts with getting your email house in order. Okay. Got to get the email house in order. And while we're at it, some tradecraft, okay? Some tradecraft that every one of you needs to start employing in your emails. And I realize this is kind of like in the weeds tactical, but it's really, really important. All of the email service providers, okay? And this is on the consumer side. So think your Gmail, your Yahoo, your Hotmail, for those that are still on Hotmail, and there really are a lot actually, your Apple Mail, your Mac Mail, Outlook Mail, whatever. All of those email service providers, they look for quality signals in the emails that you guys send. What are quality signals? They are somebody opened your email, somebody clicked on your email, somebody replied to your email, somebody spent time reading your email, they didn't mark it spam, they didn't immediately delete it. And your sending venue, and let's just say I'm Patrick at patrick.com or patrickartist.com. Patrickartist.com is my sending venue, right? And it comes with a score. And so one of the things that I love to do early on ahead of Q4 is send an email where you're just asking for a reply. Nothing else. Hey, I've been thinking about going in a new direction. What do you think of this idea? Will you just hit reply and let me know? Put in 2 pieces of art and say, hey, which one do you like better, A or B? Can you just hit reply and let me know? Hey, what did you think of the weather last weekend if you're in a local area? Can you just hit reply and let me know? Every single solitary time somebody replies to your email, it sends a signal to Gmail, it sends a signal to Yahoo, it sends a signal to Apple Mail, Mac Mail, Outlook, all the ones I've mentioned, that you are a quality sender, okay? That you have something that people that you are emailing want to engage with. And so right now, this point in time, all the way up until October 1st, when we start getting into serious business, is a great time to start adjusting our email strategy to ask for replies. And there are so many different creative ways that you can do this. I should probably just do an episode just on all the creative ideas, or I should go and ask ChatGPT, right? Like, what are all, in fact, why don't you guys do that? Go into ChatGPT, go into Claude, go into Grok, go into Gemini and say, upload 3 or 4 images of your art and say, hey, I need some creative ways to ask for an email reply. This is my art. What ideas do you have for me, right? Because the more people that you get replying to your emails right now, ahead of October, when the competition in the email inbox is going to be at a fever pitch, and every single solitary one of us intuitively knows this because we've been through Christmases, we've been through Black Fridays, Cyber Mondays, Halloweens, the whole entire buying season. Like, everybody is emailing like crazy, right? How your emails how you ensure your emails end up in the inbox, okay, is 1, make sure you send some, okay? Big bar that, I know. 2, start asking for replies now, okay? Even just getting like a couple 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 replies where people are actively replying to your emails, even better if you're having a conversation with them, will drastically improve your sender score, okay, ahead of the buying season. And no one ever talks about that, but in like email marketing circles, it's like a huge hack, right? Like, you know, a lot of times in an autoresponder, the first question that I'll do is, hey, thank you so much for signing up. Can I just ask, how did you hear about us? And then shut up, right? And what am I doing? I'm looking for a reply, yes, because I want to know how they heard about me. But ultimately, what I'm looking to do is have somebody respond to the email. I mean, I've got somebody on my team that responds to every single solitary email that we get back. It doesn't even matter if they're like going to be a good customer, if they're going to turn into business or not. And I do that. I have this person on my team doing this. Shout out to Milosh, because I want the signals that Art Storefronts, when we send emails, okay, we are a reputable sender that gets into conversations with people on our list. We're not some spammy credit card merchant or, you know, travel insurance or Geico or this or that or all the rest. And Stephanie Morgan's asking a great question. Why is it important to be a quality sender? Don't all emails get delivered? Yes, all emails do get delivered and you do get reports on that. The question is, Stephanie, where do they get delivered? Do you end up in a promotions tab? Do you end up in a spam tab? Do you end up in Gmail has, I think, one additional one, or do you end up priority in the inbox? Okay. And all the email service providers are kind of doing this now, where sometimes you will not see emails that are sent to you because they know that that is not a quality sender. So it's just a really good thing to do, a really good habit to get into as you guys think about emailing. Like, are you ever asking for a response? Are you sending a very short email? Quick question. Can you just help me with this? What do you think about this? Hit reply and let me know, right? You do that and it sends signals back to the email service providers. This is a reputable sender. Everything that this sender sends should end up directly in your inbox, right? And I say this like Gmail is the dominant email provider out there. It's depending on your list, it's probably 50 to 60 to 70 to maybe even 80% of the emails that you have on your list, maybe at the low end 40%. But they all have their own systems, but it's just this notion. I don't want you ending up in the promotions tab. I don't want you ending up in the spam. Okay. I want you ending up in the inbox. And that takes a little bit of time to get done. And right now, starting in on that is just a phenomenal, phenomenal way to go. And better still is, can you, okay, get a reply? And if you get a reply, can you get another one, right? So having a conversation via email ensures that your email, when it actually comes time to send something that has promotional language in it, hey guys, my Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale is coming up. It's my biggest one of the year. When you tend to use language like that, oftentimes Google will know, Google again is the biggest. Google will know like, hey, this seems like a sale. I could put this in the promotions tab, or I could deliver it into the main inbox. Well, if you want to get into the main inbox, you need to have a relationship with your email, your email recipients, let's just say. So it's not a technique that gets talked about a ton, but it is so, so easy to do, guys. All of you guys can do this. Send an email with no other ask than just a question and just a reply. Don't ask them to follow you on Instagram. Don't ask to click to your website. Just ask them to reply to something. Hey guys, I'm searching for new ideas. What should I paint next? Hit reply and let me know. Hey guys, I'm looking for new things to photograph. What's your favorite national park? Hit reply and let me know, right? It can be as simple as that. And people love helping artists and photographers and creatives out. They absolutely do. And if you just start getting those replies, you're going to start seeing your emails land in more inboxes, more primary inboxes, which is the entire ball game. And again, almost no one ever talks about this, but it is such an important signal. Like, if you do it, you are going to end up winning. And now to the start of October 1st is when we really want to focus on just sending awesome stuff and not asking for a sale, because post October 1st, we are going to be running sales. We are going to be running promotions. The credit cards are going to be coming out of the wallets, and I want all of you guys prepared and ready. So again, for those just joining, right now is housekeeping time. Okay. We are 49 days until the start of Q4, the biggest art buying season of the entire year. What you start doing now today is going to determine how good your Q4 is, right? And Azalea Art Shop says, so is Google reading your emails? Yes, they are. They're reading 100% of them. Now, it's not a human being, it's a machine, but the machine knows the difference between good and bad. And yes, you bet your ass they read every single solitary one. 100% they do. And yet still spam ends up in my Gmail inbox. I need to fix that, but it's neither here nor there. Maybe they don't care. So number one, we need to start gathering every single solitary email address we have. Okay. I want anything that you have in receipts, anything from that art show, clipboards you have from that art show, any email that came in via your Instagram DMs, any email that came in via your messenger chats, any email that's in your personal email that you should probably move to your business email. Now is the time when we start getting every single solitary email that we have, folks that potentially don't know you have creations for sale, folks that don't potentially know you are a creator. Now is the time to do the housekeeping and get all of those emails together into your ESP and to start warming them up and letting them know you exist. You know, I talk about this all the time, but we would love to think that your customer sees your work, is blown away by how good it is, and buys right on the spot. Sadly, that's not how it works in the real world. They need to be exposed to who you are. They need to be exposed to your artwork. They need to see it again and again and again until they make a buying purchase. It's called the effective frequency, the number of times that a prospective buyer needs to be exposed to who you are, your brand, your art before they're ready to make a purchasing decision. And no one knows what the exact number is, and it's not the same every single solitary time, but the number is not one. Okay. The number is not one. So our job is to increase that effective frequency to the best of our ability between now and the end of the year. Very, very, very important. And again, you guys, for those of you that are leveraging AI, please leverage AI. You can use ours, arthelper.ai. It's a great one. You can use ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, whatever. Upload 5 to 7 of your images. Okay. Say, hey, Google, hey, Grok, hey, Gemini, hey, GPT. Can you help me come up with some emails that will get me a lot of email replies? And just hit enter. And you'll be surprised at how good the results are. Start sending some emails to that list now and just ask for replies. If you get replies, reply to the replies. If you reply to the replies and you start getting the back and forth a couple of times, okay, it is just going to send more and more quality signals to your email list, right? That lets them know you are a reputable sender. And that's going to help you do way, way better. So I'm going to have a deep dive podcast episode on this. It'll be coming up soon in the feed. Check that out. If you do not subscribe to the Art Marketing Podcast, you should. It's a very, very good podcast. Over 500,000 downloads, I might add, which is pretty cool. I think we're like 600,000 or something. The first episode I did in this series is Ready, Set, Q4, your 70-day art sales boot camp. Now we're down to 49 days till. So we got to start getting everything ready, right? I'm going to be covering what to do with your email list. I'm going to be covering for what to do with your social media profiles, and especially your Instagram profile. I'm going to cover how you can best leverage AI to help you do more this holiday season than you ever have before. We can talk about, for those of you that are doing in fairs or shows, what is the best way to capitalize on that. I'm hoping to cover, I probably will cover some advanced and updated techniques about live art shows that you can do ahead of the holidays, live broadcasting, what I'm doing right now, still incredibly powerful, and extremely high reach. So that's something that all of you can be doing as well. And covering just a bunch of different strategies to get ready between now and October 1st, when the buying season starts, the one time all year where we got to switch all of our energy towards marketing. And if you guys do that, the numbers are pretty clear. You are going to sell more art this Q4 than you did the years previous, okay, and potentially ever. So that's what's on the table. That's what we're looking to achieve. I'm going to do everything in my power to get you guys ready from a tactical marketing standpoint. It's going to just be up to you to do it. And you guys, the bar is so low. The bar is so low. 99% of artists are going to wait all the way until 1 week before Black Friday. They're going to be like, oh, I should email my list, or maybe I should put a post out on Instagram. For the ones that start taking it seriously now and get a bunch of these touches in on all of your platforms, on all of your marketing footprints, you're going to have the great Q4, okay? You are going to get a ton of eyeballs on your creations, and that is what we're shooting for. So more content come on this, more content to come on this. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of your guys' attention, and subscribe to the podcast for more in-depth deep dives on how to market yourself this holiday buy-in season. Bye now.